r/AskReddit. What unhealthy food is actually healthy? Serious. Attention. Serious tag notice * jokes, puns, and off-topic comments are not permitted. https://www.reddit.com/r/AskReddit/wiki/index number sign wiki_rule_6-. In any comment, parent, or child. *parent comments that aren't from the target group will be removed, along with their child replies. *report comments that violate these rules. Posts that have few relevant answers within the first hour, and posts that are not appropriate for the serious tag will be removed. Consider doing an AMA request instead. Thanks for your cooperation and enjoy the discussion. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit, /message/compose/ to =r/AskReddit. If you have any questions or concerns Tacos can be very healthy depending on what you put in them. Most food is fine in moderation. Processed sugar is a killer though. Dark chocolate. Chocolate isn't terrible but dark chocolate is good. I use it for pain management. Peanut butter. Criticized for being high in fat but is also super high in protein and an important part in a lot of people's diets. Potatoes. They can be a great source of healthy carbohydrates when made properly, but they get a bad reputation because they are conventionally fried or come with a lot of butter. I know someone said it already, but most foods we eat are fine in terms of whether or not they are healthy. The big killer is people eating way too much of what is generally considered unhealthy by loads of people. Portion control can help you lose way more weight than completely changing your diet ever could. Pizza, if it's homemade. Thin crust, no sugar added tomato sauce, go light on the cheese and add on some lean meats and veggies. Things like stir fry. I make my own so I don't go overboard on the sauces and oil. What makes it unhealthy is the amount of oil and sauces people throw into the pan. Some people don't measure the amount they cook either and end up with massive portions. I avoid takeaways because of this. It's too greasy and oily for me. I really think to get a better responses is to first define healthy and unhealthy and to talk about how much of these things you are eating. Almost all of these examples in this thread are healthy things. They only become unhealthy is if you eat too much or only it. And nothing actually in that framing is healthy. We have diverse nutritional needs. A burger. Not a fast food type, but a good burger with fresh ingredients is a mighty fine and healthy meal. Protein, bread, lettuce, onion, tomato. Well, as a diabetic I guess usually juices because when I'm low I drink sugar ones. Am type 1 and have pump but started out with pens. Well, fat in general gets a bad rap. But it's pretty universally agreed upon these days that there are a lot of healthy fats that are important for brain function and do not make you fat. Also, foods that have these fats may be seen as unhealthy to someone on a restrictive diet because they are high in calories, but in fact are super healthy. I.e., avocados, walnuts, flax seeds. I think that the most unhealthy is cutting out food groups because they've been deemed unhealthy. Everything is fine in moderation, smiley face. People think fat is horrible for you. Nope. Saturated fats, coming from processed foods, dairy, fatty meats etc. and trans fat are not good for you, but poly and monounsaturated fats are incredibly good for you, necessary, and may increase your lifespan. Refined sugar is horrible for you. Not all natural sugars are good. I talked to somebody who quit all sugar but couldn't lose any weight. They were pouring honey and natural maple syrup on everything. I don't know how it is in other countries, but Americans do not have a great understanding of health. Uneasy face. Salt. Okay, it's not healthy, but if you don't have any health problems, there's really not much reason to avoid salt. If you don't put butter or salt on it, popcorn is actually pretty decent. https://www.heart.org/n/news/2019/06/1/8/popcorn-as-a-history-horror-show. Pickles. They're high in salt, sure, but they're also a good probiotic. LOL, face with tears of joy. As a nutritionist, please don't take any of this advice too seriously. There are some good points but also a lot of questionable opinions, misleading facts, and some that are just straight up wrong. Can I just say that as someone who is chronically underweight and is attempting to gain weight, honestly, most things are marketed as being good or bad, healthy or unhealthy based on a narrow definition and a certain bias towards a weight loss approach. Like, so many items are unhealthy because they're calorie rich. Meanwhile, if I don't eat specifically for high calorie richness, I quite literally might just keel over and die because otherwise I can't get past 600 calories in a day. It's very difficult to navigate health and nutrition when you don't fit the lens. I constantly have to relearn and deprogram my brain because it is full of weight loss advice, not actual health advice. Eggs. They're low calorie, high protein, and packed with vital nutrients. Not only is most of the cholesterol in them the good type that you need, but they also have substantial amounts of choline, which further helps reduce cholesterol. Curry gets a bad rap. British Indian here, and the normal everyday food we make at home is fresh vegetarian, filled with green veg and spices in a tomato base with a tiny bit of oil at the start to temper the spices, rather than those creamy oily curries you get in restaurants/takeaways. Chapatis are made with wholemeal flour and water, and personally I prefer them without fat, but even if we do, it's a little ghee and they are very thin, not a big thick butter naan that is slathered in butter. Rice isn't a biryani filled with salt, fat, and meat. It's boiled in lots of water and then drained to remove the starch. Dals are basically lentils or legumes. Salads are on the side and undressed, so no calories there. Like, okay, if you go with a regular helping of rice and chapatis it's a little excessive, but day to day it's a little of each or just one type. Coffee. No added sweeteners or flavored creamers. Just coffee. Popcorn is overall a pretty low-calorie snack as long as you don't drown it in too much butter and salt. Sushi. As long as you use sushi-grade fish you have practically no chance of getting sick, and since it's mostly just rice, vegetables, and fish, it has very little fat and a lot of essential vitamins and oils. Not too healthy for your bank, though. Wheat grains and jam can be very healthy depending on which wheat grains they are and which jam it is. Unrelated, but I love how this post is directly above another post asking what healthy food is actually unhealthy. Red wine, and chocolate in moderation. Avocado, they have a lot of fat in them, but it's good fat. The aerobics and zero fat phase killed the popularity of avocados for a few years. Real meat. I'm probably going to get downvoted by all the vegans for saying this. All the meat substitutes are full of soybeans and other high-calorie, low-nutrient fillers. Yet, they're marketed as a healthier choice because they are cheap to make and easier to handle than raw meat. The new versions definitely taste better, but there is no substitute for real high-quality meat from your local butcher. And in comparison, you're still paying less at the butcher. Bananas. Sure, it's 100 plus calories, but the fiber helps with sugar release. Same with other sweet fruits. Saying the fruit as a whole is bad due to sugar makes the fallacy of saying all sugar is the same. It's not. The sugars in whole fruit get released slowly and steadily in the bloodstream than simple sugars, even though they are both sugars. It's certainly isn't good for you, but whipped cream has a lot less sugar than people think. Potatoes. I once attended a very interesting lecture from a food scientist who basically said, no singular food item is unhealthy, it's all about variety and the amount you eat. For example, it's not unhealthy to have pizza for dinner. It is unhealthy to have pizza for dinner every other night. Also, lots of people, when they know they're having pizza that night, will treat the entire day as a cheat day. So they'll have a junk food lunch as well, snack during the day, have a couple of beers or sodas with the pizza, and then they'll have ice cream after and snack again at night. Now, you've had too much fat, salt, carbs, and sugar, and not enough fiber, protein and vitamins. Basically it comes down to, as long as you don't have too much or not enough of any nutrient a day and don't eat the same foods too often a week, you can eat anything you want. Potatoes get a bad rep because they're full of carbs and, of course, how most people tend to eat them. But they're actually a very good way of helping to lose weight, and have most of the nutrients you need. Potatoes have an incredibly high satiety index, that is, how full you feel after eating them. If you plot the satiety index, you'll see a pretty straightforward linear relationship. Those high in sugar tend to have a very low index, which is why you can scoff a tub of ice cream and still feel hungry afterwards. There's one massive outlier, the humble boiled potato. https://nutritiondata.self.com/images/help/fullness-factor.png. Importantly, this is only true for boiled or baked potatoes. Chips score much lower on the satiety index, less than a 1/4 of the boiled potato. If you are trying to lose weight or maintain a healthy weight, replacing pasta or rice with a boiled or baked potato is a very good to go about doing it. It's much cheaper than all those diet drinks, etc. Coffee. Like with anything, too much can lead to health issues. If consumed properly, it could help to reduce the chances of a lot issues like liver problems, heart failure, and Parkinson's. Eggs. As far as they go for fuel, your body will absorb and build the most muscle off of egg protein, even above chicken breast. Fats are essential for hormone production plus many other reasons, even saturated fat. The only fats that are bad are hydrogenated fats such as trans fats. Saturated fat: butter, lard, tallow, ghee. They contain a lot of fat-soluble vitamins, and being saturated rather than unsaturated, they are more stable than any other cooking oil and have higher smoke points. The myth that saturated fat causes atherosclerosis is nothing but nonsense. It's actually the other unsaturated oils, mainly seed and vegetable oils, that actually cause atherosclerosis, because they cause glycation of LDL in the blood. Salsa is a fun one. Popcorn. Without all the butter and salt, it's actually quite good for you. Pizza. In Italy it's not portrayed as unhealthy but just as a high-calorie food. In general, a margherita is dough, tomato, olive oil, and mozzarella, so nothing unhealthy at all. Growing up I was always weirded out hearing that in the USA pizza was called trash food. Then I started sawing pics of cheese-covered monstrosities, and yeah, now I understand why. Cook and assemble a hamburger well, and you're laughing. Good amount of protein, a fuck ton of veg, and just a bit of carbs. Kebabs might be the same story, but I have no fucking idea what goes into those mystery cylinders of meat. Judging by how awesome it tastes, it's probably not that good for you. Salt. The recommended intake is stupidly low, and Western media repeats ad nauseum that it will spike your blood pressure. In countries where salt curing is ingrained in the culture, you see no difference in blood pressure issues. Cheese when eaten in moderation. Popcorn, if you're moderate about salt/butter. Dark chocolate. The darker the healthier. Potatoes. French fries are junk, sure. But that's because of the oil and other stuff. Potatoes itself are quite good actually. Potatoes are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which make them very healthy. Too much of anything can be bad of course, but generally, potatoes are equated with French fries and that's not fair. Monosodium glutamate. I would take all answers in this thread with a grain of salt. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video then you should like and subscribe.